Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Hard Nine podcast. Today is May 22nd, and the Cardinals are flying high as they just swept the old St. Louis Browns, and they head into the Memorial Day weekend series with the Cubbies, only 5 games out of first place and only a game and a half behind the Padres for the wild card, which is hard to believe, to be really honest with you.
Yeah, are you still waiting for June 1st to get excited?
100%. Now, it's not that I'm not excited, it's that that's when I make my assessment of the team. So next weekend.
Next weekend. Okay, so I don't know. They've taken us for a ride here. Like I was looking at it on May 11th, they lost their seventh straight game against the Brewers, and the next day Mo came on and basically said everyone's job is on the line. Since then, they are what? They've lost two games since then. So they won the series in Anaheim. They won the series against the Red Sox, and then they just swept the Orioles. So there was that 3, 5, 7-2 since then in 9 games. Um, and they've really gone on a run here. Offensively, like their offense looks like we thought it was going to look kind of. The
I
whole
kind of.
kind of like they're still like I want to get into the positives first because it was a very positive day and very positive homestand so far. But there is still some things that I'm concerned about, a big picture. But small picture right now, to go home, and we knew this homestand was gonna be tough after they were on the road and didn't take advantage of the Tigers and didn't take advantage of the White Sox at home. And now you get the harder part of your schedule. And to beat the Boston Red Sox, who are a really good pitching team, and they just destroyed them in two of those games offensively. And then to sweep the Orioles, who haven't been swept in 106 series, is how long it was. They'd gone 106 series in the regular season without being swept. It's impressive. It's an impressive run, and some unlikely heroes there's been. I feel like
I think it was funny that you said the one guy just don't pitch to his Rafael Devers, and I think he had a home run in all 3 games.
he did. He has. I think he has in six
Six
straight
straight.
games.
I don't know what he's done tonight, but yeah, six straight.
I
So
don't
I was
either.
like, well, that they did not listen to our podcast, evidently. Um, a little nerve wracking with Sonny Gray. I know a lot of people thought he was injured. Obviously, he's
Yeah,
not. Gibby was also good. Love to see that. Lance Lynn was good. Um,
really good.
can't really ask much more against the Baltimore Orioles team that was flying high, legitimately coming into here and to sweep them 5-1 so far. Again, I will say that I wait as you've got the Cubs coming up. The last thing we need to do is go into a Cubs series and not be ready for that and not dominate them.
Yeah.
The Cubs are I just don't buy into the Cubs. I don't know why. I probably should. I don't buy into them.
Yeah, I don't either, but that's also because we're Cardinal fans, so why would we? Guess how many earned runs the Cardinals gave up to the Orioles this weekend?
Three.
This week? Two.
Oh,
Two
I
earned
was
runs in three
close.
games. Like the thing that I love too is we've seen this team when there's an error that creates, a bad inning. They don't come back from it most of the time. In game two, Mason Winn, or game one, was it game one? Yeah, game one, Mason Winn had those two errors that led to a Gunnar Henderson home run. They still battled back and won. And then today, Arenado had two very uncharacteristic errors that led to 3 runs, and they came back and scored five, and the bullpen shut it down. So I've been impressed. I mean, it's a resilient group right now, which is not something we would have said 2 weeks ago. Like they never seem out of the game. We're at a point now, like we were talking about the runners in scoring position problems. In this homestand, they're batting like 380 with runners in scoring position. It used to feel like when guys are on, you have no confidence that someone's getting a hit. And now that's flipped. And when guys are on, I feel good about someone driving a man up and down the order.
We still firing Turner, Ward, and Ollie. I'm confused. I don't know what we're
I
doing.
never said to fire Ollie.
What about Turner Ward?
I'm Turner Ward's off the hot seat once our stars start hitting.
Yeah, that's an anomaly. Let's talk about Mason Winn for just a second. If I were to tell you coming into the season that as of today, May 22nd, going into Memorial Day weekend, Mason Winn would be sixth in Major League Baseball in WAR at the shortstop position, what would you think?
Was sixth at shortstop, is what you're saying?
At Major League shortstop among all Major League shortstops, yes.
I would have thought that would have a way better record than we do.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. Is he becoming the
He's
face of
been
the
great.
franchise?
They're sure trying to market him that way. We talk
Sure
about
feels
the
that
City
way.
Connects. Um, he's a star right now. Like he did the attitude, the way his defense is awesome. The way he goes about everything seems to be great. His home run today was crazy. Like the ball was about to hit the ground and he hit it out. If that power starts to come, like this guy's gonna be legitimately a top 5 shortstop in baseball because he's doing everything else.
I love to listen if you guys don't, because most people don't. But every once in a while, I'll flip over whether it's the Baltimore. I didn't really get a chance to listen to Baltimore, even though I love their announcers. Did not get to
They're
listen to
very
them,
good.
but listening to Boston's, I love listening to other announcers talk about Masyn Winn. Like it is fun. Like everyone is realizing. I mean, MLB Network talks about Mark DeRosa, Billy Ripken. They talk about it quite a bit. Like it is fun to see. Here is the irony of how they're marketing him. You cannot buy a Masyn Winn City Connect jersey in the team store or on the team store online. However, I did get one. Thank you, DH Gate.
Yeah, it's because Fanatics is horrible at what they do. That'd be my
That
guess.
they're worth billions of dollars. How could they be so bad?
I don't know. The Cardinals still don't have powder blue jerseys, so I'm not expecting the fans to get everything they want.
So before we
Um,
move, let's talk about it really quickly. What do you think? City Connect unveiled. Your sister was at the Metro Boomin unveil. She got to see all of that. You did not. Sorry about it. Good, glad for her. However, I really like the City Connect jerseys. I've seen people just bash. It seems like to bash. I've heard so many people talk about boring, but then when a team puts out a flashy one, they hate them because they're too flashy. So I don't know what you wanted. To me, it had everything. If you want to say it didn't have the arch, whatever. I don't even care about the arch. That's fine. The arch is cliche at this point. So I love that it says the Lou. I love they kept the birds on the bat. I told you it has to have the Florida Lee. Love that. The pinstripe river pinstripes are great. I hope
the
they wear them with
players don't
white
like
pants.
it.
I
They
don't
do.
care.
They are. The
Okay,
players
good.
don't like it, which I think is funny because I think they're fine. Like I like them. I don't have any strong opinions one way or the other. I wouldn't say they're the best Cardinal jersey, but they're definitely not. They're good. Like they're good jerseys. I don't have a problem. I think they are kind of safe. How I'd say it. Like you knew
Fine.
that people weren't gonna hate them, and it's kind of like that's the Cardinals' brand is to be safe. So I guess it really represents the city. I don't know, but
It does though. Like if you think about it, they are a City Connect jersey for a reason, and it has all the elements. I mean, what did you want? Did you want an Emo's pizza? Did you want toasted ravioli? Did you want a big pork steak on the front of it?
you know what
I
I
don't.
think I really
I
would
don't
have
know what
liked.
people
I wish
wanted.
they were. I wish they were navy blue. That's what I would have
See, I,
liked.
I. That's fine, and that's a valid argument.
I mean, it makes something different.
I for years have wanted the Cardinals to have a red jersey. It is their primary color. It does feel like maybe that would make sense for the Cardinals to have
They
a red
have a red
jersey,
spring training jersey.
but they got rid of. It's gone now.
They did, well, they got rid of it for this.
Oh, good. Smart move, by the way.
No,
Smart move.
I do wish I think if it would have been navy, it would have been way different. Like that's a different jersey. That it feels different. I like it, but if you're not looking at it close enough, you would just think it was um the spring training jersey.
Okay. Well, then I
I mean,
mean,
it's true. You would
then you're not even
it's
really
true.
looking. Okay, then you're not really looking at
Well,
it if
I
that's
can't
the
even see
case.
I'm intrigued to see how the pinstripes show up on TV because in pictures they don't show up much.
Yeah, I'm not
I
gonna
don't hate
say
them.
like
They're fine.
I love. I also love the STL on the hat.
I
A lot
like
of
the
people don't
hat,
like that.
but okay.
That's
I
your
have one
throwback.
problem with that.
That hold on. That's your throwback to the Negro League stars. Like I like that they had STL on their hat. I like that as well.
Well, the one problem I have with those is they released a secondary hat for City Connect that's way better.
The Florida
Just
Lee, I
use
agree.
that one. Like
Yeah.
why? Like how? That's so dumb to me. Like why did you? Who saw those two and said let's use the worst one?
Well, you and I had already purchased our City Connect hats, but
I
now
know
I
I
want
saw
the
those. I just don't. They had this big patch on this. I don't have a big patch on my hat.
yeah, I those the Florida Lee are very, very cool. I agree. Anyway,
Yeah,
I'm not like I really like them because, like I said, I have for one, I think there's nothing sharper than a red top with white pants. I think that looks as good as you can find in Major League Baseball.
I wish the
So
hats weren't red. It's a little overkill.
Jesus, no one will ever be happy, dude. No one can
I just
ever be happy in this fandom.
I do wish it was navy. Like that would have been unique. Let's get to the Cardinals because they're doing cool things. It's their only positive episode of the year, so we might as well actually talk about the things on the field. Nolan Gorman's back.
Does feel that way.
Fun stat. 28 at bats. His last 28 at bats. He has struck out 16 times, but he has 10 hits, 6 of them extra base hits, 4 of them home runs. So that's Nolan Gorman.
Boom.
I said last podcast, I'm okay with him striking out, but I have to get the power. That's the trade-off. And he's bringing it back. That homer hit today was awesome. Lefty
Yes.
lefty 1-2 count. That felt like a game where the Cardinals were going to lose because they don't play well in the afternoon. But two, it just felt like they were gonna not score, and the Orioles were like Gunner was gonna hit a homer, and they were gonna lose 2-1. But for him to go up there and immediately give them a 2-run lead, that I knew that game was over because once again you have Helsley, JoJo, and Kit Rich who have been unbelievable. All three of them have been great. So that was awesome to see. And also, I want to get to Ollie if you don't mind, unless you have anything to add on Gorman.
I got nothing.
Um,
I love watching Gorman when Gorman rolls. So yes,
yeah, I mean, I'm a sucker for left-handed power hitters.
same.
But Ollie, I think Ollie's managing this team very well right now. People might not want to hear this, and I
Hold
do
on,
get like
stop.
if you're,
Can you say that louder for all the people in the back? Because I'm tired of having the arguments with people who like legitimately I feel like don't and I'm not trying to downplay anything, but it's almost like you're not understanding how the game is working if you're not watching how well Ollie is managing the game. Sorry, I did not mean to interrupt you, but like
yeah,
yes,
yeah, I think he's doing a great job. And the one gripe people are going to continue to have is Brandon Crawford. I get it. Like it is frustrating. I don't want Brandon Crawford to play. I will say I think it's just to get Masyn Winn to be able to last 162 games. Like that's what I
it
think it
is.
is. Mason legit talked about last year how he lost like 20 pounds and was like not hitting for power at the end of the year because he got so frail from being run down. So he's 21 years old. Give the kid a break. He might be 22 now. He's 22 years old. Like he'll figure it out. But that's the only gripe that people can really give me that's reasonable. I love that he's letting guys like Burley and Gorman face lefties late in games because those two have rewarded him for it. By the way, they've had big homers against lefties. Um, and I think the way he's managing the bullpen's great. Like I will say, JoJo and Kittredge have been used at an alarming rate. But I think that's also like more that's on the offense to me than on Ollie. Because when you're Ollie and you have a game in front of you that you can win, and those two tell you they can go tonight, you have to use them. Like you have to get the win when it's in front of you. And that's what I loved about this game. The first game, he didn't mess around. Like he wasn't going to go to John King or something and do something weird where it was going to potentially waste that game to save a guy for the second game today. He didn't do that. He decided to get that game, win it, and say, well, we don't know what's going to happen in game three. We might not even be in this position to use one of those three guys. So I love that. And then the bullpen depth really rewarded him for it and came out and were amazing in the second game today. But I think he's doing a great job.
JoJo and Kittredge, high usage. We've talked about it on here quite a bit.
Yeah.
However, it's naive and it's also silly to think that Ollie and Dusty and everyone else are not having daily conversations with these guys. One thing
Yeah.
I've learned a lot about major leaguers is yes, they all want to go to they want to go there every day. They want to go toe to toe with everybody, but they will also let you know if something is not feeling right. Like, and
Some of them.
it's not that they're most of them, especially in the bullpen guys who want to stay around and pitch the entire year. Like, and Kittredge and JoJo are going to do that. So that I will say this: what is concerns me the most about JoJo is the fact that if Libby were out there where he should be, then maybe we didn't have to use JoJo as many times. But that's not where we are right now.
Yeah,
So
let's get to Libby later because I want to save negative stuff for towards the
I'm not.
end.
I wasn't being negative. I'm saying
No,
that's
I'm going
adding
to
to
be
JoJo's
because
usage.
no, I'm gonna be, and I want to save it. Because I don't want to be upfront because I am excited about how they're playing. Let's get okay. So there's a couple more things that I thought this second game today, Leahy, John King and Nick Robertson stepping up and giving up one earned run in three innings is incredibly huge for this team.
Yes,
Huge. And Robert, I mean Fernandez got a little bailed. I said
by
Robertson. I
Newt.
think Fernandez is the one. Yeah,
Yeah,
Newt bailed him out, but he still. I mean, for those three to come in and pitch one earned run baseball for I think it was 4 innings after that rain delay, like that's incredible. I did not think like I thought for sure when you're in a situation, even when you're up 4-3 and you get that little league inside the Parker from Donovan to get the lead, I thought for sure that someone was going to blow it. Like I knew that Gunnar Henderson was going to be up as the tying run. He was, and I was like, I don't know who's going to be pitching against him, but I know I'm not going to like it. And he did it, and they all did it. So that was impressive. Like seeing guys step up. It feels like other teams when they play us. It's like this guy with a 7 ERA steps up and throws 3 innings shutout baseball against the Cardinals. That never happens for the Cardinals, I don't think, but it's starting to.
Another bonus. I've been critical of Miles. He was very good against the Red Sox.
He's been very good for like three starts.
I think. Well, let's relax.
He has
But I
been.
think we still beg to differ that three
Okay,
runs in 5 innings is good. So that's
he's
okay.
giving you a chance to win six
That's
innings. He's
fine.
giving you a
That is
chance to win almost
no.
every
Last
start.
time he went five. That's fine though. Okay, that's fine. I mean the time before this one. That's what I meant.
No, he went six. We called it a quality start.
Yeah, he went 3-6, and he went 3-5, and this time he went whatever he did. I think he only gave up 1 or 2 runs. Either way,
Either way, he's giving you a chance to win.
yes. Gibson has been better than advertised. I try to tell y'all. He's not. He might not. This might not last, but I think he's been very good. Sonny, there's still a little hiccup here and there with a weird inning with him. I'm not sure what that is related to right
I
now.
mean, it was related to his defense not getting outs.
Yeah, and
Let's
then
get
obviously
to that because I
Lance.
thought
Hold
that was
on,
interesting.
Lance Lynn was
Okay.
very good. So when your starters are starting, like you're going to see that do we know anything on oh my God, Middleton? Anything yet on him other than he's just
He
still in the
pitched
rehab?
today. He
Okay,
pitched today. I don't know how. I know he gave up a home run, but I don't really care.
right.
Okay, I want to get to Sonny because I think an interesting thing happened, and I was going to bring this up earlier when you were talking about major leaguers knowing their body. Sonny, this is the first time I've ever seen a pitcher do this. I think Sonny called himself out of a game the other
He
day.
did.
And I get why some people immediately say, well, Chris Carpenter would have never done that because he wouldn't have. And then they say things like that because they're like, well, I expect him to want that out. I think what I really liked about it is we've seen like three times Ollie go out and talk to Sonny and say, hey, do you have this? And Sonny's like, yes, I got it. And then Ollie goes back because he trusts him. Doing something like that, where you tell Ollie when you don't have it and when you're not the best option, and Jojo Romero is the best option, and you say, hey, you need to take me out of this game. Like that, I'm not the best option right now. He threw 35 pitches in that inning. His arm was probably dead at that point. That builds so much trust with Ollie and honestly the entire team to say, when you tell me you're good to go, I know you're good to go because you won't lie to me. So that's the one part I really liked about it, even though I do get why some people don't love it.
I get it, but come on, let's move on. All right. How many times do we hear people bitch about how you're hurting the team? You're hurting the
Yeah,
team.
right.
And then like when a guy says, I'm sorry, I think if I keep pitching, I will be hurting the team. People like that's just silly. If anybody who has an issue with Sonny Gray has not either one paid attention to Sonny Gray in his career or two is new to baseball.
Yeah.
Like it's got to be one of the two. Because I'm
I
not taking
also
anything you say about that seriously if that's what you're talking about.
I also think it creates a good culture for the guys in the bullpen, like JoJo, knowing that his ace just said, "Hey, you're a better option than me right now. Like,
Right.
I trust you. Go get this guy out because I can't do it right now." And I do think it's like they're creating it seems like a really good culture in there. Shocker that players don't hate Ollie. Who would have thought?
Oh, wait,
Um,
hold. What? I was
yeah,
told
they don't, and they're playing. Guess what? They're winning games. So does that mean now they're playing for him when they weren't before? I don't know. Um, but yeah, I'm impressed with Sonny and how he's done. Lance was great. I thought 6 innings, no earned runs. His one run was on an unearned on an error by Gorman. Some weird plays on the infield this series by everyone. I
yes.
don't know if I don't want to blame the grounds crew, but it was just weird. Like there was bobbles all over the time, all over the place. Like even the Orioles, Gunnar Henderson made a massive error today that cost them the game. After Arenado made one, it was just weird. It felt like something was going on there. Like the grass was choppy or something. I don't know.
Few really cool things from the past week. The Tyler O'Neill reception was excellent. The press conference beforehand with him was pretty cool. Then him getting to hit a jack in the third
He that
game.
was destroyed.
Woo! Good to see him back. Good to see him healthy. Good to see
Yeah.
that happening. I mean, it was time to part ways on both sides. There's no animosity, and anybody who has it, I don't know what to say to them. But I was happy for him, and I was happy for the reception. You said, do you think he gets a standing O? We both agreed, yes, he did.
Yeah, he did. It was a cool moment. And I saw other fan bases saying, well, you guys want him to leave. It's like, dude, you don't understand Cardinal baseball if you
Right,
don't know
correct.
why we gave him a standing ovation. Could you imagine
Other
being a player
super.
that comes back and not getting one after seeing
No,
so many
no,
players get
no,
them?
no,
Skip
no.
Schumacher got one every time he came back.
Yeah.
Every time when he was playing.
um, Michael Ciani's first career big league or first career home run. That was
Huge.
awesome.
It was
Awesome.
huge. That game. So there's so many games to talk about. But that game, all six RBIs of that game were from Masyn Winn and Michael Ciani, and their 8-9 holes
Yep.
in the order. Michael Ciani's been really good. Like he's not going to be an above average hitter. He's probably not even going to be like 10% below. He'll probably be like 20. But man, he's providing. He's going to win a Gold Glove. His defensive metrics are incredible. If he plays every single starts for the rest of the year, he's going to win a Gold Glove in center field. That's how good he's been. So yeah, he's just taking the job from Dylan Carlson, just straight up taking it.
So let's talk. Can we talk about that real quickly? Because that was the segue onto one of the things here. What happens when Tommy comes back? What do you do?
Platoon him. Hey, oh, you know what I do? I give him all Tommy ultimatum. I said, I'm platooning you, or you're batting right-handed every at bat. Pick one.
So that's my question. Are you going to take a Gold Glove caliber center fielder out who
If they
like
believe Tommy Edman still is one too, then yeah. I mean, at that point, I think that's so far in the future. Honestly, I don't think it's close. That
okay?
we'll have to see. Like if Siani could have fallen off by then, and if it's just his defense that's carrying the weight at that point, and his bat's doing nothing again, then I trust Tommy to be, maybe a step down, but not a massive step down, and he's going to bring way more offense probably.
How happy are you for Alec Burleson and Ivan Herrera right now?
They're studs. Let's get to Burley first. Burley's
Sure.
been Burley's been awesome. Like he's my five hitter the rest of the year. I'm not moving him. Like that's where he's at. When Wilson Contreras is back, Goldie can bat sixth or something. I don't care. I'm not moving Burleson from the five hole. I think he is a perfect guy to have in that spot because of how good he is at driving in runs. He just has as an ability to put the bat on the ball and make things happen. And you're finally seeing the guy catch a break sometimes. And he's starting to take more pitches. Like he's getting more playing time. His at bats against lefties have been awesome. He has two homers
Yep.
against them this year. Like he has been so impressive. And I don't think there's not a guy on this team that I'm more confident in getting a hit when they come up than I am when he comes up right now.
786 OPS, 5 home
It
runs,
was over
17
800 for a
RBIs.
day.
And
That
here's the
sucks.
thing with Burley, those RBIs would probably be double if we had anything going on from Goldschmidt and Arenado like in the
Yeah.
middle of the lineup. Like to be really honest, something's got to give there. I don't know what it is.
Let's get to them in
I
a second. Let's
Okay,
stay
that's
with
fine.
these two.
Well, and then Herrera right now,
It's been
obviously with a
awesome.
731 OPS. I mean, I didn't. I should have looked up how many home runs he has. Oh, he only has three. But
Three.
either way, he's been great. His defense. There's always going to
He
be
takes
questions there.
awesome at
He's young.
bats.
He takes very good at bats. I
In
agree.
big situations, like really big in the biggest moments when he's up, he just comes through. Like there was that game, the Boston game, one of them, I think one first or second game. It was first and third, nobody out. And that might be the Orioles game. I don't remember. But he punched one through the infield. Like he takes really good at bats. There are some times where he gets too big and tries to homer and he looks really dumb for an at bat. But for the most part, he just goes, yeah, he's one of those guys too, where when you're watching, you always feel like he has a chance. And that's something I really like about him. But unless we can get to Goldie and Nolan, I think they're two separate conversations right now. With Goldie, he looks like Goldie again. Not prime Goldie, but he looks like Goldie when he's just kind of like not hot but not cold, where he's getting his base hits, he's taking some good at bats. Arenado to me, he had a really good day today. He still has an ability because he's such a talented hitter to get base hits whenever he really wants to. The other way, like he had a really big double today the other way. Um, but until his power comes back, I don't know how you bat him fourth the whole
No,
time.
I don't either.
Like he's still a valuable hitter. Like he's still doing things that help you. He's getting hits. He's taking some solid at bats. He's walking more often, but he just is not right. Like he's not hitting anything hard in the air. Anything. He grounds out two or three times a game now right now.
You think it's a back? You think that's that back? You think that back
I
is
mean,
a
he
chronic
said it
issue?
was a posture issue. Like that
Yeah.
he's having bad posture problems, but that his back feels fine. So maybe it's just one of those things where he's just having to figure it out, and eventually he will. But it is concerning. Like his bat speed's down. Like everything seems to be down. But he's still like he's not like bad enough to not be playing him. But he's more of a six hitter than a four hitter right now.
Which is terrible when you need him to be a four hitter.
I mean, it sucks, but also like we knew these guys were going to age eventually. Someone like Gorman or Burleson take it over. Like you become that guy. Like at some point,
Uh,
you have to have that churn. Buster Posey wasn't expected to be a superstar his entire time in San Francisco. Eventually, guys are going to age.
Willie said fuck it and just took the cast off.
He's weird. I don't know. Like
I think he's a
he's
madman.
wild.
I think he's
He's crazy.
legitimately
Yeah.
a madman.
Back. Do you think he's back before or after the All Star break?
Before, come on.
I think so too, but I hope it's not rushed. The good thing about like how good Ivan Herrera's been is you don't need to rush him back. Like
You
don't
don't.
let him put himself in harm's way
No, I
because he
agree.
will. Like he will. He'll come back early, and you don't want him to come back and not be even as productive as Herrera would be because he's still hurt. So give him time. But man, it is weird. Baseball's so weird that the Cardinals lost their best, far and away their best player, and they're playing the best baseball they've played since he's been gone.
Yeah. I don't
Very strange.
think that I don't think there's any
I'm
correlation there,
not
by the
blaming
way.
him. I'm saying that's how weird
Oh, you
baseball is.
you kind of pulled the 2023 St. Louis Cardinals there with Willie.
No, I'm not saying it's because of that. I'm just it's a fact. Like he's been gone, they're playing better. Now I'm not saying it's because of that. I'm just saying that's how weird baseball is that he leaves and he was the only one hitting, and now people start hitting. It's like, well, why wouldn't you weren't you doing that when Wilson was here when we could have won a bunch of games? But
All right, can we get to Libby here because
yeah,
like this is really bothering. Like this is almost incompetence at this point.
not
Gross
almost.
incompetence. What are we doing? Like what are they seeing that makes them think they're smarter than everyone else?
Let's narrow it down. What is Mo doing?
Yeah,
What are you
agreed.
doing? Like so Ollie's come out multiple times and said he wants Libby in the bullpen. Ollie's
Yes.
like crying to the front office to make a move that makes sense. And their move seems to be to put Libby through another bullpen today, so he's probably starting on Saturday. He is giving up like he has like a 900 OPS against right-handed hitters this year. Will they have that against him? Like you can't pitch that, dude. Guys are just gonna load the lineup with righties. You cannot do that. And this is not Libby's fault at all. At all. He was a great reliever. You're doing the same thing you did to Zach Thompson last year. How do you not learn? Like what is wrong? This is what's so annoying is I want to be optimistic because they're only 3 games under 500 right now. They're smack dab in the middle of a wild card race. I think they're a solid team, better than we thought they were going to be. But I cannot like put my full faith in this team until the organization stops doing things that make no sense.
Yeah,
Like I just
it's
can't. You have
absolutely
now you.
asinine.
What are they going to do? They've been very fortunate to have an off day every Thursday in June. I mean, sorry, in May. June they have 2 off days. So what are you going to do? What are you gonna do now that Libby can't? Now that you can't have Michaelis step up one day and take a spot where Libby could have. Libby's gonna be here every 5 days. Like that's not going to work, and it's also taking away from a really good reliever. So I don't understand what they're doing.
Weakening yourself in 2 spots is never a good general
Yes,
manager move.
and
Or
it's not
Pete
even like
Bobo.
about Libby either. Like I think Libby could eventually down the line be a back of the rotation starter. Maybe. Like it's possible when he's 27, 28, he figures it out. But my goodness, sign Rich Hill, dude.
I
Pick up
agree.
Brad Keller, who just got DFA'd. Like do something. Call a team that has multiple starters that might want one of your AAA bats like Luke and Baker. See if you can make a move. Like do something. And it doesn't seem like they are.
No, the
Like
Rich Hill thing.
is there someone out there
People
that
have
has a
joked
AAA pitcher
forever.
that you like?
People have joked forever about Rich Hill, but it does right now actually make sense because he will give you
Seriously.
innings, and he'll also come in and give you a few great starts. Like we know that.
Like, would you rather get 5 innings of 3 earned run from him every 5 days and have Libby in your bullpen, or would you rather get 3 innings of 4 earned runs from Libby
It just
and have
I
no one
that's
in your
why I'm
bullpen?
asking, like, legitimately, what are they seeing? Like, is it just arrogance? Do we go back to the hubris thing that I talked about before with Mo? Is it just complete arrogance?
Here's I don't know what it is, but here's the problem: Graceffo, Roberta, and Kloffenstein all on your 40-man roster.
Yep,
Not one of those guys can make a start for you.
I know.
Not one of them. Then why did you trade for them, dude? Why did you, other than Graceffo? Like you, that's the reason you made that Jordan Hicks trade to Toronto. Other than that, you were selling, but you got those 2 guys and targeted them because they were going to be upper level bullpen. I mean, upper level starting depth to be able to use. You cannot be like, how is this organization so backwards when it comes to Victor Scott and Jordan Walker that they rush them as fast as they can to the big leagues, but with pitching they're too slow. Like, when is Graceffo ever going to be ready then? He's been
I
AAA
don't
for
know
like
that
this is his
answer.
third year in AAA.
Yeah.
When's he gonna be ready? And when he's 28? What are you doing?
Is Zach Thompson still in Memphis? I assume like he's starting in
Yeah,
Memphis.
I don't have any desire to see him pitch
I
up here
understand
right
that,
now.
but like, what are you gonna do with him now?
But honestly, I'd rather have him start than I don't know if that's true. Like, I don't know what they're doing. Like Drew Rom being out, did that kill your season? Like, what is happening? I don't get it.
No, it's going to end up really hurting, putting stress on, like we've talked about JoJo and Kittredge and these other bullpen arms
Well,
because you
more
don't
importantly,
have Libby out there.
it's gonna put stress on like the Leahys of the world who have to throw 3 innings behind him. Like if
Just
you're didn't
I
start
just
an
can't
opener.
fathom it.
Like, you know what I
Right.
mean? I would almost rather them start an opener and have Libby throw 2 that day. So he's still ready to pitch in your bullpen, and because he's throwing you 2 or 3 anyway. So have Leahy start the game and give you 2, have Libertor give you 2, and then hand it off to your bullpen. Like I would
Yeah.
rather that than trying to make Libby a full-time starter again.
Agreed. I agree. But
So I
they
don't
have
really get it.
they have it just feels like they're again making the worst decision. Give them 45 choices. The worst one is the one they're going to pick
I
every
don't like
time.
to call Libby the worst decision. It just like it seems to me like you're being too slow to react to me. Like I get it, trying it the first time in a spot start. Okay, you don't want to make a move. That's fine. But right now, like, what are all these guys in AAA? Are they ever going to get called up? Michael McGreevy is never going to make a start for you. I don't think he's very good, like at all. I actually think he's not very good. But I don't. I like. Is he ever going to come up here? Is he just never going to play?
I mean,
Like, right.
maybe
This is where you miss Jake Woodford. To be honest with you, he could give you a spot start. He
words I
could.
never thought you would say.
Like, I mean, they got rid of Jake Woodford and Dakota Hudson because they thought they had guys in AAA that could take their spots. If you're not willing to use them in those opportunities, do you want to use Dakota Hudson, who, yeah, he was incredibly frustrating, but he could give you a chance to win on any given start that he had. Like, then why did you DFA those guys?
The number one question I have is you came into this season with legitimately 5 question marks at starting pitching, 4 outside of Sonny. So 4. Good, even though Sonny was hurt at the beginning. So you had
I want to
5.
consider Kyle Gibson a question mark.
Okay. Old veterans who we know have
I just
are
don't think that's
susceptible
I
to
don't think
injury.
that's fair, but yeah.
What was your backup? What was your next who was the next guy in line? You
It
moved
was supposed to
Libby
be
to the
Zach
bullpen.
Thompson.
Was it let's just screw him? That's what we'll do. We'll just screw this guy again? I don't get
It
it.
was Zach Thompson, and Zach apparently they told Zach Thompson to lose too much weight, and now he can't throw his fastball as hard. Like, what are we doing? Our doctors are even messed up.
Well,
They
they've
don't
been
even
pulled
like.
on. We know
No,
that.
no, I don't want to blame the training staff. That's such a fan thing to do. I hate that. I hate that.
Well,
I really
there
do.
have been issues with doctors diagnosing.
I
That's what I'm saying. That's
I
all I'm
don't.
saying. I wasn't
I'm
saying the
okay. Let's
training
stay out
staff.
of that because we don't know. We're not doctors. But no, they've done. I mean, for the most part, our teams have been remarkably
You are
healthy.
so nervous to say anything.
I'm not. It's not my place because I don't know how. I'm not. I can't
All I'm
diagnose
saying is in
people. I
the
don't know.
past there have been
I know what
questions
you're
around
saying. I
this.
wish you'd
That's
stop
all I'm
saying
saying.
it. Questions from fans. There's not been questions. I've not
Uh
heard one player come out and question anything.
no, me neither. Well, right, right. So let's
So then,
get
what
to
are
the
the
Cubs
questions
series.
from your South County Steves you always talk about? I don't care
Well, I
about
don't
their
know. I don't listen to
questions.
KMOX Open Line and Sports Open
Yeah,
Line anymore. I don't
It's
even know
their
if he's
fault.
still
Tyler
around.
O'Neill got hurt a bunch of
Yeah.
times. I don't think so.
All right,
Yeah,
so
you
the
just hate
Cubs
the
coming
medical
into
field.
town, off day tomorrow on Thursday, and then we got the Cubbies coming in. So the Cubs have not announced one starter. All three are
That's not.
TBDs right now.
No, Imanaga is pitching Friday.
As of right now on MLB Network, they have TBD. So maybe that was announced and they just haven't
Did they push
updated it.
him?
But this is
Oh,
on
and
MLB.
what? So he was announced Friday, and then they pulled it back. So I don't know.
Yes, all 3 days.
Interesting.
Like you got Michaelis is the only guy that we know is going to pitch for either team,
I think
and that's
Imanaga
Friday.
is going to start that game. I do.
Yeah,
Unless they push him up. Like that happened with Corbin Burns. He was supposed to start game one of this series, and then he got moved up to Sunday and face the Mariners. So I don't know, but I would assume we face Imanaga. I kind of hope we do. I want to see that matchup. I think that'd be fun.
he's
Um,
been great.
yeah, they're not facing Kyle Hendricks, thank God. Because he's in the bullpen now.
And he has not been good.
Yeah, but he would be against the Cardinals. I can
That
guarantee you
is
that.
true.
And I think the other guy that was lined up was Javier Assad. But I don't know if I mean obviously they're all TBD now, but I know that at some point that's the guy that was lined up. So and he's been really good too. The Cubs they're not hitting much, but they can pitch, man. Like
They're
they
like
can
Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh doesn't hit either. Although O'Neill Cruz hit 5 balls
Pittsburgh
the other day, like as hard as you could ever hit them. But when you go out with Jared Jones and
yesterday.
Paul Skeens, I think it was, or was it 2 days ago? Was it yesterday? 2 days ago?
It was yesterday.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. So, yeah, wild.
Yeah,
But
I know it's an interesting series. I mean, they're in a good spot to face this Cubs team. Like this is what you want. They have to finish off this homestand strong before they go. I think they go to Houston. Is that right?
Cincinnati.
And then Houston.
Yes, I believe so.
And Houston's playing really good baseball, and Cincinnati's been all right lately. So
Houston getting hot. Kyle Tucker, MVP.
is the best player on that team. I was going to say in the American League, but that's not true.
Right now he is.
Yeah, right now I don't
Right
think.
now he
I mean,
is.
he might be actually. He honestly might be the best player in the American League
Yeah.
now that Otani's gone. I think okay. Let's go to our predictions. I think they win 2 of 3. I don't
So
think
do
they're
I.
going to sweep. Oh, I don't like that. You should change yours. You're always negative, and it works out better for
I'm
me.
not negative. I've been realistic.
Have you been? Because you said they're going to lose 2 of 3. They just swept the Orioles.
We didn't do the Orioles. We
Oh,
only did
sorry.
the.
You
I
said they're
we
going to lose
lose.
2 of 3 to the Red Sox.
I was one off. I'm sorry. I've been right on almost every other series.
That's a massive change. You thought they were
I've
going to
been
lose the
right
series,
on
they
almost
won it.
every other series, by the way.
That's not true. That's not true.
Folks, it's true. It's true.
I don't know. I stopped keeping track when I started doing poorly.
Because I was killing you. That's why. So I think they take 2 of 3. I think Nolan Gorman continues to hit.
Yeah, he's hit the Cubs well in his career. Not that it matters because most of the pitchers are new, but I think they're missing Justin Steele, which is nice because he just shuts down the Cardinals every time we face him. I think Nolan Arenado gets going.
All right.
He's gonna get going even if it's a fugazi hot streak where it's like 2 weeks where he's incredibly hot and then he cools back down. He's not gonna hit 8 homers this year. That's not going to happen. He's gonna get to 20 probably or right up around there at the minimum. So he's gonna have to get hot at some point. I think it's coming. He had some really good at bats today, I thought. It's just concerning. Like he's not pulling anything in the air, and that's what Nolan Arenado has been the best at in his career in all of baseball is pulling balls in the air, and he just hasn't been doing it.
Yeah, very odd.
And I don't think it's an approach thing either. Like before I was concerned about Turner Wood. I don't think it's that. I think he's just someone said something. I don't remember who it was. It was one of the nationally televised games. They said that he's guessing fastball every time. And I don't know if that's true, but he's like, there's a lot of hanging sliders that he just gets buckled on, and he's not like that he would crush 2 years ago, and he's just getting buckled and not swinging. So I don't know if he's guessing a lot and he's just trying to get his bat head out because he's so hyper aware of pulling the ball. I don't know, but I think he figures it out this weekend.
Yeah. All right. So I like that. Anything else before we get out of here?
No, I don't. It's just fun to see them winning games again. I miss
Absolutely.
that. Like they've been, and it also gets two really good teams. Like I know the Red Sox aren't a perfect team by any chance, by any means, but they have a top three pitching rotation in baseball right now. I think they're number two behind the Mariners. I think, in baseball, so
Yeah,
ERA
the
wise.
Mariner and Brian Wu, they got him back, and he has been great.
He got hurt again, I thought.
No, he pitched 7 innings strong against the Yankees last night for
Oh,
shutout
so he got
ball.
hurt and then came back and he was fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. All good.
Um,
It was a
the
precaution. Everything was fine. They took him out just to make sure everything was fine.
the one concern I do really still have, one is the cornerstones batting 3 and 4 that need to get some power from them. Like I don't need them to be 900 OPS guys. I'd love that, but they just got to start hitting some homers. Like even if it's one of them hitting one a week, like they cannot be. What do they have? Does Goldie have five and they have eight so far? I think in total.
Yeah.
Does Goldie have five or four? Either way, they have seven or eight total, and that's just not enough. Like Gorman has more than
No.
them, I think, alone, and he's batting seventh. Like that can't happen.
No.
And also they're just not hitting fastballs very well, which is so weird to me.
One of the worst in Major League Baseball, which is
The
not
worst, I think.
good if you're in Major League Baseball.
I think a lot of that's because three of their biggest impact hitters are Goldie, who is struggling against the fastball. There's no doubt about it. Arenado just seems to be off, and Gorman we know can't really hit fastballs.
Do you think they can sustain this success long term?
Well, at an 800 win
No, no, no,
percentage, I
no,
don't
no.
think so.
Obviously, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that they can
Offensively,
play above. They can play 600 baseball.
the rest of the year,
Yes.
um, it's so hard because like realistically, they could have another like really good week and a half, and then they just play like 550 baseball, and they're there where you're saying. So I mean, yeah, I do. But here's what I'm concerned about. I don't think they can sustain this if Goldie and Nolan don't get going at some point. I don't. Because I think like I love what I'm seeing from Burley and Mason Wynn and Gorman and Donovan and Newt Bar have been really good. We didn't talk about Newt at all. He had a great series against Boston. He
And
had
a
two
massive
homers
play today.
and yeah, and a massive hit today. He broke their he had to score the first round of the game. But I'm really impressed with those guys. I think they're really good hitters, but you cannot only rely on them. Those two cornerstones have to get going, and it's going to help a lot. Obviously, whenever Wilson's back, to have another guy in there. But I think they can, but those two have to be better if that's going to
If
happen.
they don't get going, it's going to be a long summer.
And it's like I don't even think they have to be stars right now, but they have to be able to provide you some kind of power.
You okay? You don't need them to be stars every night. You need a stretch of stardom, is what you need
Yeah,
from
you
both
do.
of
You
them.
need a hot stretch
That's
from
what
those
you
guys,
need.
and
Yes.
I think they have it in them too. Like I do. I don't think they're done. But the longer this goes, the more I'm getting concerned.
All right. A couple things outside. Shout out to University of Illinois baseball for winning the Big Ten and then laying an egg today against Penn State. That
So
just
weird.
cannot happen. 10 a.m.
We know what
game
can't
for the
happen?
number one seed.
Yeah,
Also, Nebraska got pounded by
yeah.
Ohio State, who's terrible.
Why
So
are we playing
weird.
10 a.m. games? And by the way, they're playing in Omaha. That stadium is freaking huge.
Well, that's where the little league, that's where the College World Series is. But yeah,
Where's
so you're coming
Omaha
out of losers
at?
bracket now, and that's
Is
fine.
Omaha, Nebraska?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
They
Nebraska
should.
got pounded today.
So
Your top two seeds got trounced.
why would a one seed ever in a tournament play at 10 a.m.?
Doesn't make much sense at all. It's very bad, very, very bad
It's
if
just
you're the
like
Big Ten.
just don't do that.
No,
Like
they should at least be the
just,
4:30 or the 8 o'clock game.
even
But
if it
don't
was
look now.
12:30, don't make it 10.
Don't look now. Everybody wanted to bury LSU, and they just came out and spanked Georgia, and then just beat the dog shit out of Kentucky, who was the SEC regular season, well, tie co-champ with Tennessee this year, and they just beat the snot out of them today. 2 grand slams in 1 inning,
Yeah, Tommy Tanks. I think
and
he has 24 homers on the year.
yeah, he might get to 100 home run or 100 RBIs for the end of the SEC tournament.
That'd be cool.
So
Yeah.
anyway, that's so college baseball is heating up. I love college baseball. Like this time of year for college baseball.
Mhm.
Same with softball. The regionals I think start this weekend, so love that too. So a lot of stuff to watch. It's Memorial Day weekend. Um, anything else you got before we get out of here?
I can't believe the Cardinals are 3 games under 500. I can't believe it.
All
It's
right,
crazy to me. Like they
everybody.
there's one thing I wanted to say. Sorry.
Oh, jeez.
What I wanted to say. They are now tied with the Diamondbacks, Giants, and Pirates for the same record, and they're all a game and a half back of the Padres. So before we were talking about how difficult it was going to be to leapfrog every team because they were behind like 5, 6, 7 teams at that point, and between them and the Padres. Now they're not. Now they're
No,
legitimately right behind the Padres. So
yeah,
it's
you
big.
put
They're
yourself
now
in
right in the mix of
position.
everything. Yeah.
Yep,
So
put
they got to
yourself
keep
in
winning.
position.
They have to win this series against the Cubs at home. You can't lose this
Agreed.
series.
And then you got
So
to
you have
go
to
to
keep it going.
Cincinnati and do the same thing because Cincinnati not very good.
Let's take it one step at a time. Let's win this series. We'll focus on Cincinnati later.
Okay. All right. All right, but hey, have a fantastic Memorial Day weekend. We will be back Sunday night because I am then going out of town on Tuesday. So we'll be back at the end of the Cubs series and we'll discuss that. We'll also preview the upcoming series that Kale just talked about in Cincinnati, and we'll go from there.
You talked about it.
Have a fantastic weekend. Hey, take care of business. Get down to Busch and see some great baseball. Go Cards.